All right, folks, I got one for you. I ain't kidding. Seriously. I think I just found my all-time favorite knife. Y'all hang around to the end, not just for watch hours and time and all that YouTube junk. I'm just going to tell you everything about this knife. I got some footage in here to show you about this knife. And yeah, let's get started. Hey fellas and fellarettes, this is a breaking news flash. This is a video I wasn't planning on making, but I feel I kind of got to. Kind of late in the day, about to get dark on me, so I gotta hurry up and tell you. I received a wonderful gift from a close friend, a dear friend. Think the world of the guy. He wants to be anonymous. Got no problem with that. Just killer gift. It's a knife I've never touched, never held, never nothing. And anyway, he gifted me this knife, and I got it out 2 days ago. Okay. Today I was working in my shop. I'm doing a little remodeling in my shop. I'm insulating it, putting white paneling over so it can reflect a lot of the light. I'm going to be doing a lot of work in there upcoming. A lot of projects, a lot of stuff for YouTube too. So that's another subject. So anyway, I'm in there working, and I take said knife out. Listen, this is a Case Longhouse. I would call this a traditional modern, or modern traditional. It has a pocket clip, ball bearings. I love the shape of the blade. I hate a clip point blade that swirls up like a banana. This has got just the perfect blade, and it's got that little tiny bit of a harpoon on there that is just fantastic. But let me tell you more about this thing. Like I was telling you, get it where it'll focus. Focus. Anyway, it's the Longhouse, and it's CPM 20 CV steel. Stone washed, sharp. I mean, stupid sharp. Black canvas micarta, black burlap micarta handles. And this thing feels like $1 million. It is awesome. All right, now for the rest of the story. So I'm in my shop right there. Got my little tent set up. Been working on a lawnmower too. Anyway, another story. I'm in the shop, and I'm doing this work and everything, and I'm cutting some wood, and I decided to take a break. That might have been a mistake. But anyway, I decided to take a break. So I pulled this knife out. It's in its box, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this in the box, and I'm only going to, I even told the buddy that gave me this, I'm going to carry this knife, but it's not going to be like a work knife or any hard use stuff, because I mean, it's a dandy knife. I love the thickness of it. I love it. So anyhow, down another rabbit hole went. I pulled this knife out, and I got a couple pieces of wood in there I've been whittling on. I've been doing this hobo thing and just different stuff. Well, I had this 4x4x6 block of wood that I cut out on my table saw. And I cut a whole bunch of them out on my table saw for a project. Well, the project went belly up, so I decided to start using them. And this stuff is seriously hard. And I've had a lot of basswood projects here lately, and that stuff's a breeze. I mean, it's like butter. But I pulled this stuff out. It's called maple, and it is hard. It's dried out and aged, and it's something else. So I decided I'm going to make my niece a Noah's Ark. Long story. But anyway, I start carving away at that thing, and next thing I know, I get so carried away. And the thing is so easy to handle, and it does all the cuts, push, pull, cut, everything I need to do. And I got carried away, and I have been using this knife for about 2.5 hours, hard at it, before I decided to make this video. And then I started filming some clips, and it just went on. And I'm going to revise it. I'm going to show y'all this knife in action. Let me explain the action a little bit. I'm doing push cuts, pull cuts, pushing my thumb, pulling my thumb, doing all the little carving cuts I'm learning. And then I just get down to just hogging off wood. This is a ball bearing knife. And I kind of got to the point where I was getting a little so aggressive with it. I was kind of like, man, I'm going to mess this knife up. I need to back off a little. Nah, it took every bit of it. There's zero blade play in this thing. It's smooth as silk, drop shutty. I mean, this thing is dope. And it's still, believe me or not, after what you're going to see here in a minute, it's still got the factory edge on it. I don't know how much you can see. Like I say, it's getting dark on me. It's got the factory edge on it, and it's still sharp as can be. Now y'all can see the carnage all over my clothes and the floor, what I've been doing with this knife. Like I say, I've been at it for like 2.5 hours when I start filming this video. And I'm practicing different cuts, the little pull cut with the thumb, and the push cut with the thumb, and all the things I'm learning with carving. And I'm doing a lot of other stuff too. But you can see I'm twisting the knife into the wood. I got a little boo-boo on my finger. I'm really going at this thing pretty darn hard. And remember, this is a hard piece of wood. It's harder than woodpecker lips. Now I'm going to speed this up here just so you guys don't have to be bored to death. But I want you to see the kind of what I'm doing with the knife. Oh, and by the way, hey, like him naughty knees. But I want you to see what I'm doing with the knife, and that it's actually doing everything I'm trying to do with it. And yeah, let's speed it up a little bit. Be right back. Now, it might not be too easy to tell by looking at this, but this knife is getting her dead. And I'm really going on the edge. I suck at showing paper cuts. I don't know. I just don't hold a knife right or something. But you can see how it's gliding right through. Every now and then I tear it because I'm pulling the knife sideways. But you can tell she's still sharp. Now, I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, plus what you've already seen. Okay? So the knife is still holding up. And I'm going to be cutting some of that ridiculous strap here in just a second, which will dull anything. Now, if you hold both ends of a strap, and you cut down the middle of it, just like you're cutting it in half something. Pretty much almost any knife will do that. But I am slicing this stuff. And I'm dead serious. This stuff is worse. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Any knife will do this right here. But what I was doing, I was slicing this stuff with one hand. And I don't know, I have a Spyderco Manix XL that'll do this, but that's about it. And I got some really good knives, and this thing is super sharp, and she cuts, buddy. All right, let's go back to speeding it up. As you can tell, it ain't having any problem. Not a problem one. It's ripping right through it. I mean, cutting the poo-poo out of it. Now, I'm going to leave it at 3 times speed so we can get through this. I don't want to leave anything out. I'm doing fine cuts, doing little rolls in here, just showing you everything this knife is capable of. And I'll just be honest, I'm impressed. It's a good combination of thin but not too thin, thick enough but not too thick, sharp, and man, this thing is holding the edge like crazy. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but once again, this is after 2.5 hours of whittling with this thing. Yeah, to say I'm impressed is kind of an understatement. Usually by now with anything, I would have at least had to stop and strop it or something. You start feeling that drag going through the wood or something. But nope, not this one. Well, let's go to 4 times speed to get this done. A lot of this trivial action you're seeing is just testing a knife, testing the tip, testing the entire blade to see how the entire blade cuts, not just one area of it. And I know it sounds crazy, but I am totally impressed with this thing. And we're not done yet. I'm gonna cut out a lot of the stuff I did here because it's all the same stuff over and over and over. I'm gonna keep it to just a few minutes because I actually filmed right here an hour and a half. But I'm not gonna bore you guys to death with that. I'm just gonna show you the end products to these clips. All right, we're gonna see if it still cuts through this stuff as easy as it did before. And it's still slicing through there like a knife through hot butter. I mean, if you want to try this with your knives, let me know. Send me an email. I'll send you a piece of this stuff I'm cutting right here and you'll see what I'm talking about. This stuff is hard to cut. That's why I only use it on the knives on my channel that will cut it, because most of them won't. All right, let's see. Pick up a scrap of paper here. I'm an old poetic looking feller here. My hands are kind of getting tired because I've been doing this for quite a while. As you can tell, she's still the whole blade. That's why I'm doing the slice and not just pushing. The whole blade is still sharp. Y'all can tell by the look of the wood and the grain and everything what this is. And this has been cut for a long time. I did a video with this stuff like 6 months ago and I cut a whole bunch of it up. And see the bark and everything, there's nothing green about this. And this stuff is super duper hard. But as you'll see, once when I get down into the meat of the wood here, it don't slow down. It's like it's still cutting the daggum bark off. That's what I was talking about. I'm really going at it. And I'm trying to dull it because I can sharpen a knife. I'm trying to see what it takes to dull it. And to this point, nothing at all has dulled it. Okay, back to 4 times speed. We need to speed this thing up. I just want to show you guys some of the footage, just a little bit of it, of what I've been doing with this knife all afternoon, without stropping, without anything. And there I'm doing the cutting with the tip, and I mean I don't know what else to say. You would think I'm being paid by Case to tell you all this or something, but I'm not. I just want to tell you guys about a really awesome knife. And I'm not making anything here. I'm still just trying to dull the knife. I will say this. When I got done with everything, as much as I hate to spoil the surprise, this knife to me seemed just as sharp as it did when I took it out of the box. And it's after altogether about 4 hours of going hard with it. And needless to say, I didn't finish up my project in the shop today because I was so impressed with this knife, I wanted to just keep going. But by the time I got done, my old arthritis hands was so sore I couldn't go any further. I just hope y'all can see what I'm talking about. I don't usually go this gonzo over a knife, but hey. Alright, I went back to the wood. And I did this for, I think, probably another 45 minutes. I didn't film it all. And I'm going to speed this up again. Like I say, I don't get paid for this. I'm just showing you a knife that a good friend gave me as a gift, and it blew my socks off. Probably as much or more than any knife has ever blown my socks off. And yeah, I am wearing socks down there, by the way. But you get the point. I'll just let y'all watch just a little bit more of this, and then we're going to stop this. because I got a whole bunch of footage, but I think you guys will get the point. This is Carnage from the Case Longhouse. All right, now after y'all have seen what I was doing with this knife, and I was kind of going hard at it. I go borderline punishing the knife, function-wise. I'm not going to use it for a work knife and the greasy nastiness of what I do for a living. But as of right this minute, the way it carries, I'm going to make a leather slip for it here in a little bit. I know it has a pocket clip, but I'm going to make a leather slip for it because I am scared if I put this on my pocket that it's going to be like several other knives I've had that I really liked in the past, and I'm going to lose it. At least for now, I'm going to carry it in a slip. So where would I rank this knife after all this? And this is impromptu. I didn't even plan to make this video. This knife right now, I usually don't have favorites. If you say, hey, what's your favorite knife? I don't know. But I will say this. As far as an EDC, I know it can do it. And I would go as far as if you were in a survival situation and you don't have a big fixed blade and you need to feather cut and you need to, or feather stick and all that stuff they talk about. Alligator did. This, the Case Longhouse, and thank you, buddy, for this gift. It's an awesome gift. A little expensive for a gift, but I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm not saying this because I know my buddy's going to be watching. You see that? I'm not saying this because of that. This is my first ever absolute favorite EDC knife. It's EDC, hard use as you saw in the video clips, putting it through its paces. And I tell you, that strap I was cutting, that stuff is serious. If this will do to that stuff, there is no toe strap, ratchet strap, anything ever created on this planet gonna stand up to this knife, because that stuff I was cutting is ridiculous. And this thing was like butter. I was going down there and cutting it and taking slices out of it, cutting it in half, going back into that birch. I took a piece of oak right there, you know, still had the bark on it, and I was hammering on the oak, heavy cuts, zero blade play, absolutely perfect sharp, and I'm amazed. Do I have other knives I really love, like Spydercos and things? Yeah. But I'm telling you, you got to put one of these in your hand. If you put it in your hand and you test it out and you whittle with it, carve with it, cut some straps, cut some zip ties, stuff. Oh, I cut up about a half a pack of zip ties in there that I didn't get on camera because that's the point when I decided to make the video. I strongly, if you do not own a Case Longhouse yet, I strongly suggest it. I say, this may be my first ever outspoken favorite EDC knife. Now, as Terry would say, ooh, don't that pretty. Yep, it does. It does. The light's on my camera. That tells you how dark it's getting out here on my phone. I love it. It's kind of in the same type of category looks wise, kind of like the Jack Wolf kind of deal, but with a big difference. The Case Longhouse is a hard use beast, and it's made in America. And you can almost buy two of these for the price of a Jack Wolf. That's just the kind of, the looks, kind of the vibe I get from it, the Jack Wolf vibe. Now, am I down in Jack Wolf? People who have Jack Wolf, I'm not a collector. I've told y'all many times, I don't collect knives. I don't buy them to leave them in a box or put them in a drawer. I get them out and use them. And if you're a collector and you like what you like, that's your business. Myself, if I can get an American-made knife with with a super steel, and I'm kind of starting to understand what super steel means after this, but for almost just a little over half of what a Jack Wolf knife costs from China, yep. I say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You be the judge. But as far as I'm concerned, this thing is beautiful. If you're a collector, I would try one out. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's beautiful, and I think it'd go good in anybody's collection. But if you're also looking for a knife to get her dead, that'll get her dead all day long. And my light finally cut off on me, thank God. I mean, goodness. I can't find a fault in it, fellers and fellerettes. I know that was a lot of probably redundancy in what I was telling you out there. It finally got so dark I had to step in here. But, well, the proof's in the pudding. They say, Mike, why do you want to talk up and talk so big about a knife you've had for 2 days? I'll be honest with you. I don't shoot across the bow of nobody. I love the people in this community. I really do. But a lot of people are collectors, and that's really great. I love watching collector channels because I learn so much. And I guess to an extent, I've become a collector. I'm starting to get into a lot of the older knives, and it's kind of like when you've been in the knives for so long. I've been in knives since I was a little boy. Your taste kind of refines, and you decide, hey, I want to go this route, and that's kind of where I'm going. But I still like modern knives. I love traditionals. That's what I started on. I've always had traditionals, and that's kind of, I'm leaning more that direction right now. And so back to the subject. Why, after 2 days, are you talking this knife up so much? I'm not making no money off this. There are no links. To be honest, I don't mean to sound like a smarty pants, but I don't care if you buy this knife or not. I'm just doing this kind of as a public service announcement that, hey, guys, if you're looking for a knife, I think I just found it. Does that mean that I'm not a Rough Rider fan no more? Does that mean that, no, it don't. I love Rough Rider knives. I got a bunch of Chinese and Taiwanese made knives, some Japanese made knives, Siki City knives, all kind of knives. Got a lot of American Spydercos and SOGs and all kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if you're that guy out there and you want a carry knife that is super capable of everything from peeling an apple to, darn I say it, survival, the Case Longhouse beats all I ever seen. The balance of the knife, the way it handles, no hot spots, the burlap, micarta handles, everything about it. They thought long and hard on this thing. I hate to be so serious because I don't have a serious bone in my body. But I just, for anything else, hey, Mr. Feller that's looking, hey, I'd like to get a new knife. What's out there that I want something that I can use and dependable and blah, 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 blah. I don't think you go wrong with the Case Longhouse. And once again, my buddy that sent me this knife, I appreciate it greatly. He also got one, so I'm waiting to hear what he says about it. Most guys in the knife collecting community never go to extremes with knives. They never use their knives the way I use them. I'm not saying that I'm a more knowledgeable knife guy, because I don't know half what most of these guys know. I just know, does it cut? Does it fit? Do I like it? Is it durable? Is it blah, blah, blah. The Case Longhouse fits all those checks. It checks all those boxes, and it's awesome. I mean, totally awesome, fellers and fellerettes. I'm not kidding. Till I get to talk to y'all again, I hope y'all have a good one. I hope y'all have a good week, great night. Once again, whenever you're watching this, I gotta think of something else to say at the end of these videos. I hope y'all have a good one. I hope God blesses you, and I really hope he does. Until next time, peace and God bless. We out.